CEO found a little boy under the desk. Just when the CEO was curious about how the little boy sneaked in, the little boy actually called the CEO dad. Before the CEO could react, the little boy's mother suddenly rushed into the office. When their eyes met, they both felt that each other was very familiar, and Avery thought of the night 6 years ago. But Avery didn't want to stay too long, so he picked up the child and left. At this time, the CEO felt more and more that he seemed to have seen this woman somewhere, and even the assistant next to him said that she looked like the person the CEO had been looking for. It turned out that 6 years ago, the CEO, who had drunk fake wine, stumbled into the wrong room and looked at Avery, who was also a little confused. The CEO mistakenly thought that she was the antidote sent by the assistant, so he immediately entangled with Avery. When he woke up the next day, the CEO remembered what happened last night, but Avery had left at this time and put a $200 bill by the bed, mistaking the CEO for a professional player. This made the CEO very angry. Looking at the bracelet Avery left on the bed, he vowed to find Avery and tell her that last night was his first time. But 6 years have passed, and the CEO still hasn't found Avery's whereabouts. In the office that day, the CEO was teaching the company's trader a lesson. Unexpectedly, when the trader and the CEO were fighting, a little boy's voice came from under the desk. Just when the CEO was curious about how he slipped in, Avery's appearance made the CEO feel very familiar. In order to verify whether Avery was really the same person 6 years ago, the CEO immediately called the scheming woman and asked her if she was really the owner of the bracelet. At this moment, a trace of nervousness flashed across the face of the scheming woman, but in order to stay with the CEO, she still lied that she was the woman that night. This remark dispelled the CEO's doubts, and the CEO would never have thought that Avery's true identity was actually a hacker. 6 years ago, because the master was persecuted by a villain, Avery secretly investigated, but found that the person who killed the master had hacked into the security system of the CEO's house. So in order to find out what happened that year, Avery sneaked into the CEO's house as a servant. And when Avery went to deliver the fruit plate to the scheming girl looked at Avery with a surprised look on her face, and then took out a black card from her bag and told Avery to get out of here quickly. It turned out that on that night 6 years ago, it was because the scheming woman gave Avery vitamins that Avery and the CEO had an intersection. Then the master was killed by someone, and seeing the scheming woman's horrified face, Avery thought she had a problem. But before Avery asked, the CEO saw Avery again, and directly bypassed the scheming woman and came to Avery.